State head coach Aaron Johnston. Coach will begin with an opening statement, then we'll open for questions.
Well, this is a real good, tough win. I thought USD is very good. I mean, they're going to be there right at the end and after. They just play very hard, very physical, and defend well, and just make a lot of plays. So for us to come down here and play as well as we did, which I thought we did play very well, is a good sign for us. Some of the stats I think we'll probably get asked a little bit about, but ultimately I thought our team played with a lot of toughness, so I was really pleased with that. We talked about having a controlled emotion coming down here, and I just thought we played with a lot of toughness and really good poise. So I'm really proud of our team. Good win.
Aaron, do you feel like you were able to limit what they wanted to do underneath? It seemed like they had to settle for some jump shots, and you guys were really defending the paint pretty hard. Yeah,
we've been pretty good defensively. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm surprised by it. They've been playing really well offensively, so it's a kind of a good matchup that way. Their perimeter players have been shooting the ball so well. We're really cautious to leave them and give a lot of help inside. In the second half, it really became, I think, on their end, trying to pound to the post, and our post players did a pretty good job of making it tough for them to get good looks and then rebounding. So I thought defensively we did a good job scheme-wise the whole game. Players did a good job with it.
AJ, I think around the 5-minute mark, you guys, it was a 4-point game. You made something like 6 stops in a row. Could you talk about, that's probably alluding to the toughness you talked about, but what you guys said maybe in that timeout, or what sparked that really sustained defensive stand?
Yeah, I wish it was a great timeout, but we worked really hard the last 2 days defensively. We put a lot of time into what we thought they were going to do, and it ended up being similar to what we saw on the court. I thought our players really handled their assignments well and handled USD's movement and screens well. Gabby was really big for us. I know it's not specifically your question, but when they got back to 2, I think she went on almost a 5-6-0 run, something like 7-0 run, to push it back to a wider spread, so she was big at that time. Megan Latashik was really big for us at times too. She was really hard to guard. And then collectively, like you mentioned, defensively, we were just pretty solid the whole game.
Coach Williams came in here and talked about the rebounding margin. They're +8, I think, on the season. You guys were +12 tonight. Anything? Rebounding is one of those things where sometimes you can scheme for it, sometimes you can't. Your kids, by knowing the effort they play with, that was kind of the biggest thing. They felt they needed to just match that.
Yeah, I think in part it helped us that they went inside as much as they did in the second half, because they just spread the floor and it goes into the post, she misses it, we're inside all of them. When they have a lot of that other movement going on, perimeter players taking shots, both of those post players are free to get on the glass, and when their guards were really aggressive, we struggled rebounding. When they pounded it inside, we were a little bit better. So I don't think that's our scheme. I just think that's how it kind of played out. But we rebound pretty well too. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We've got some big, strong, athletic players that can go get it if they want it. And our perimeter players did well too. Chloe had 3 offensive rebounds. And our team was just really focused on that part of it.
Similar situation last year where they made a big comeback. They completed it. What was maybe a little different this time around?
Well, Ashley's play after we had turned it over a couple of times, she had a driving layup to the basket there and got fouled, and then that was kind of the momentum that we didn't get last year. Last year we had, I think, 3 or 4 chances. One basket probably wins the game for us, and we didn't get it. And Ashley got us that one basket at that time, so she was really big in that stretch. Tara Heiser made some big free throws when she came off the bench. She's a pretty cool customer. I mean, we all feel really comfortable with her in those situations. So we just made a couple of baskets, a couple of free throws.
You only let them get to the line 4 times all night, but yeah, it seemed like you had really good defensive pressure the whole way. Is that something you really focus on too?
Yeah, we do. We put a lot of time into defense, more than sometimes it looks like. But you're right. The not fouling has been really critical. Probably the last 2 games, we've been on the wrong end of free throw margin. We track that. We pay attention to it because it does speak to how much we foul, and we really emphasize it this week of playing without our hands. Sometimes we get really aggressive and attacking the ball. So we did a good job of that, though.
Coach, this was a new spot for them, being relatively new to the league, but kind of a little different for you guys having a game of this magnitude in the regular season at your rival's gym. Your thoughts on just your kids being in that spot and coming out with a road win?
Yeah, we talked about the opportunity we had to come down here. We were going to leave in first place either by ourselves or with somebody, with USD obviously. So it was an opportunity for us to try and separate and maybe create a little bit of space or distance. An opportunity to play in, I think, a big rivalry game, which is fun for everybody involved. We wanted to try and make the most of the opportunity. So it was about the rivalry, it was about the conference, but it was also about trying to make the most out of this neat opportunity that both teams get to play in these games.
Anything more for Coach?
Okay, thanks.